The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the mikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable, custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout-out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved by Hollywood celebrities and endorsed, including Forbes Riley, Joanna Cassidy, and a lot more. So grab your copy today, Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the mikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today, and support the Mike Wagner Show via PayPal and Anchor FM/support. Also check out the merchandise section of the Mike Wagner Show on Amazon.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can also check out some cool books and great gift ideas on Amazon.com/Mian Mohsen Zia. Do it today. We're here with a wonderful author of The Habit Trip, which is a fill-in-the-blank journey to a life on purpose. And she's a Mayo Clinic and National Board Certified Health Coach, Certified Personal Trainer with National Strength and Conditioning Association, Nutrition and Wellness Consultant with American Fitness and Professionals. And, she's also has 3 books on the shelf and spent nearly 20 years talking with people about priorities, ambitions, and a lot more. And, of course, this book here will basically just guide you on the journey as well, too. And she's a really good helper, and simply you'll learn a lot from this wonderful lady. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Music City, the author of The Habit Trip and an amazing person to go on a journey with, ladies and gentlemen, the very talented Sarah Hays Coomer. Sarah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mike. Thanks so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on board, and I'm so looking forward to what you have as well, too. So you're a Mayo Clinic National Board Certified Health Coach, Certified Personal Trainer with the National Strength and Conditioning Association, Nutrition and Wellness Consultant with American Fitness Professional Associates. You also have 3 books on the shelves, and you spend 20 years talking to people about their priorities, ambitions, and a lot more. You also have a book called The Habit Trip, a fill-in-the-blank journey to a life on purpose, and it's an amazing book. And before getting to all that, tell us how I first got started, Sarah.
So I started out in Los Angeles as a personal trainer. I was living there at the time. I was actually a musician and an actor, and I was doing all kinds of things out there.
Oh, wow.
And found myself really kind of wrapped up in all of that body image stuff that happens. Mm-hmm. And got to a really unhealthy place with it. So I took a day job at a human resources company working for a music business company, and started studying at UCLA post-grad work in nutrition and physiology, and just trying to kind of get a grasp on what my body was doing and what it was for and what strengthening it was all about. Mm-hmm. And then I started hiking and going out every day, and it became kind of a therapeutic activity for me. So I would say, okay, maybe today I go, if I only make it 15 minutes, that's okay. And if I make it 3 hours, that's great too. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of learned to listen to my body like that and respond to it and get fresh air and daylight and all of that stuff, and just started to realize how there was a hole missing in the fitness industry where we're really focused on manipulating our bodies or shrinking them or making them look a certain way rather than trying to nurture them and bolster them and support them. And so I wanted to start writing about that, and that started with articles and things like that in magazines, and then grew to the books. So, yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, you've got a wealth of information, and it was at one precise moment that influenced you into what you're doing today. So it was at one moment that simply says, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you first start doing that stuff and you start talking with people who are truthful with you and are telling you completely honestly, I feel like my relationship with my body is broken and I don't know what to do and I don't know how to wake up every morning in this body. And then you're able to help guide somebody through that. Those were some of those early moments where I just thought, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Wow, that is very amazing. And you also said you're a musician and actress as well too. And what got you into getting into music? Maybe some of your musical influences.
Oh boy, I go way back to, my parents were hippies, and I grew up listening to, Joni Mitchell and all those kind of folk music, Bob Dylan, all that stuff. So I came from that world and really came up loving folk music and Americana, and formed a band out in Los Angeles. And just did that for a while. It was a wonderful thing to do in my 20s. It just turned out, when I moved to Music City, as you say, I realized, oh, these people are on the road in a van for 2 years at a stretch, trying to build these careers. And I thought, I'd rather just sit around and write about how we can be healthy and take care of ourselves.
Oh, something? I think many people would do that as well, too. And we'll talk about some of your books along with The Habit Trip and more. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, it's time to give an official shout-out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mosen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Me and Most and Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Me and Most and Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Me and Most and Zia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. Support The Mike Wagner Show on PayPal, also on Anchor FM/support, and also check out the cool merchandise on Amazon.com/The Mike Wagner Show, and also for some books and great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Me and Most and Zia. We're here with author Sarah Hays Coomer of The Habit Trip here on The Mike Wagner Show, and before we talk more about The Habit Trip, which is a fill-in-the-blank journey to a life on purpose, you also wrote a couple of books as well, too, and tell us about those books and tell us how you got started as an author.
Yeah, so it took me a while. I started writing a book proposal probably about 7 years maybe before I ended up getting an agent and then a publisher after that. So the first book was called Lightness of Body and Mind, A Radical Approach to Weight and Wellness. And that one is really about what I was just mentioning about what I discovered about that hole in the fitness world. I really wanted to talk about how we can nurture and support our bodies and make peace with them. So that was really what that one was about. And then I wrote one in 2016 called Physical Disobedience, which was about really it was primarily for women, that one. It was really about what are we doing this for? You know, we have all of these things that matter to us in our lives, everything from, like the causes we care about to our families and our work and everything that we're devoted to. How does fitness connect to that? And how can we use the things that we care about to motivate taking better care of ourselves? Mm-hmm. So that was Physical Disobedience. And then, The Habit Trip just came out in December.
Oh, wow. Okay. And who are some of your favorite authors growing up?
Oh, I love Anne Lamott. I love Elizabeth Gilbert, Brene Brown. Kelly McGonigal wrote a blurb, and Dan Pink actually too for this new book, and both of those are huge idols of mine. So I was really excited about that.
And I'm sure they probably want to learn some tips from you as well too, and eat goodies or something like that. So maybe they can benefit from you as well. So.
Yeah, it was a huge honor that they would do that.
Mm-hmm. And of course, about the book, The Habit Trip, a fill-in-the-blank journey to a life on purpose, and tell us a bit about the book, and I found some interesting as well too. So just tell us more about the book, and maybe just a couple of highlights.
Yeah. So The Habit Trip, it's as you said, it's a fill-in-the-blank journey. So it's an interactive, Dr. Seuss-inspired, whimsical storybook journey. So you go through this. It's almost like the Phantom Toll Booth. You enter into this strange fantasy land, and then you are the hero and the expert in the story. So I'm not. The research is showing in habit change is showing that people don't change when somebody tells them what to do. When a doctor tells you to lose weight or your spouse tells you to do something a certain way or whatever, your odds of following through are incredibly low. So if you can find that inherent, intrinsic motivation and follow that, then you're much more likely to follow through. So this book is entirely focused on you and your wisdom. So it takes you through this kind of fun world, because I got really tired of all this self-help being it's like drudgery, so much of it is just so hard to do. And so I try to infuse it with some play and some exploration. So you go through the journey. There's 3 parts of it. The situation is the first third of the book. Mm-hmm. The solution is the middle, and then the payoff is the end. So you go through all these different areas of life, and you find your values and what's driving you and what your strengths are and what comes naturally to you and what you love more than anything else. And then you go through these 10 areas of life that impact our health and well-being, and figure out what needs attention, what feels great, what do I want to do about it, and then we talk about the actual anatomy of a habit and what makes a habit. And then you can work your way through a very specific habit. And then the last part, you finding what kind of a difference it'll actually make in your life, and where are you actually headed with this, and what are you trying to achieve?
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the 10 areas of well-being? Maybe you can just highlight a few of them for us.
Sure, yeah. So people think about, diet and exercise, and those are obvious. But a lot of it is time, the daily rhythms and routines that make up our days. There are incredible opportunities throughout the day that we have to, as I say in the book, microdose wellness. So you can find ways to infuse those little 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 2 minutes into a day can make a huge difference. Sleep is a big one. The space around you, the environment that you live in, the people that you see, how you handle money and how you're feeling about your career. And then there are more sort of ethereal ones that are like spirit and voice and play, finding time to play, things like that.
Mm-hmm. And of course, too, that and of course, you also handle things, too, like, the rewards and everything. And some of it's like easy, like melted butter. And, yeah, it's also for the love of it, too. I like the easy, like melted butter part. Makes me think of popcorn or so.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole idea is there's like you approach a change, and you either approach it with desire and you really want to go after it, or you approach it with resistance and you feel, yeah, I'd like to, but here are all the reasons X, Y, Z why I can't do that. So if you can find the ones that you genuinely desire, and then you can find healthier ways to meet those needs, then you're just going to end up so much better off. And it's all rooted in that easy like melted butter. What comes easily, what feels right, what's luring you forward.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, you also got the emergency plan as well, too, and maybe just a bit about the emergency plan. And when do you go to that emergency plan in case, like, all else fails, or it's like last resort?
Yeah, I mean, that emergency plan, I kind of wished, like, as 2020 was unfolding, I kind of wished that everybody had that chapter, just that it's like a 3-page chapter. But in that chapter, these are like when everything falls apart, you lose a loved one, or there's a global pandemic, or whatever's going on, you have these lists that you make in there of 3 people, 3 places, 3 physical activities, 3 foods, and 3 works of art. And that can be music, TV shows, anything that you really love that's art. And these are the things that, like, because when you go into trauma, when something really extreme happens, we are not able to see clearly or think clearly. So if you have these things in your head and you know what they are, who those people are, what those places are, what those activities and foods and works of art are, then you can just grab them and rely, any one of them, just grab something to ground you and make you feel human and whole again for a minute. And then you can breathe, and then you can make some better choices from there.
Mm-hmm. And of course, after getting through those 2 parts as well, like the situation and solution, and yes, you got the payoff, power, peace, and presence. Maybe just tell us quickly about those. Of course, don't give away the ending. So
yeah. Well, you've gone through this world, and so you land back at your home base, which is where you start in the beginning of the book. And the question is, what does that look like for you? What does that feel like? And what are the actual physical manifestations of that? And in the process, you start finding, like, there's a goblin spider in there who starts, like, attaching itself to you, and it sort of it's like a jumping spider, and every time you flick it off, it keeps jumping back, and it's just like biting you and infusing you with this poison. And through that, you learn, okay, this spider isn't going anywhere. Like, life is unpredictable. You never know what's going to come. There's always something coming up. So, okay, how are we going to manage this spider? How are we going to take care of it? And the peace in that chapter comes from knowing how to unclench, to release some of that attachment to whatever outcome it is that you think should have happened that didn't happen, and learning that you actually have the power to make a choice in any given moment. It's just a matter of taking that power back for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important as well, too. And how is this book different from the other, self-help books, like, Life on Purpose, How to Figure Out Nutrition and everything? How does this differ from the other books out there?
Yeah, so a lot of books will give you really actionable things that you can do, like, here's how you do this, here's how you deal with a habit, whatever. But a lot of people have a hard time even knowing which habit in the first place is going to snowball into greater improvements in other areas of life. So this zooms out and it focuses on you so that you can figure out for yourself what needs attention and what doesn't. So it gives you that perspective, and it's not going to tell you, here's what you should do, and then you'll start, put it down after a week and start feeling guilty about it. Oh, I should have done this, that, or the other. No, it's going to help you find your actual motivation and what is most important to you so that you can follow through and see it through to the end.
Mm-hmm. And of course, are all bad habits actually bad?
No, absolutely not. No, in fact, first of all, bad, I put that in quotes. Bad habits are not flaws. They're just coping mechanisms that are things that have made our lives easier or more manageable or given us some sort of relief in the past. So I have a worksheet that I've given to people. I do workshops, like corporate workshops and speaking engagements and stuff like that. And I have a sheet that I hand out where it's like, okay, let's list all the bad habits and decide. The point of this worksheet is to find out which ones we're going to keep. So that, because we're not ready to move on from them. We need them. We need that relief. We need that reinforcement. And when you find out which ones you can keep, it's a lot easier to let go of some of the ones that you really, truly don't need anymore.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it's just like routines, though. Why some routines work, why they don't, how to make effective during a pandemic. And of course, how do you make some change, especially in the new year?
Yeah, well, our options have been severely limited. So yeah, I can't say, because everybody's circumstance is different. I was on a radio show about a month ago it was a radio show for truckers. Everybody's got their own sort of situation that they're dealing with. But what you can do is step back, look at these 10 areas and say, okay, what are the micro doses? So if my big dream is to travel to Italy to take a cooking class, for an immersive cooking class for a month. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe you can't do that, but you can, in quarantine, in your house, get on your computer, find a recipe, find a friend remotely who wants to also try this recipe, and once a week, the two of you order, your delivery from your grocery store or whatever, and try to make this dish together and see what you think about it. There are all different ways that you can find these micro versions of these macro goals that we have, depending on what your priorities are.
And yet that's a break one notch. That's a 10 for a good buddy, and that one for the truckers out there in that trucker show.
Yeah, for them, it was like sleep. It was sleep, like your environment that you're living in, when you're crashing and, are you sleeping in your cab? Are you going to a motel? What do you do? How are you taking care of your physical body on the road? That's a real thing.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the quarantines as well, too. That's also affecting a lot. And how are the quarantines also affecting people, like with change in bodies and everything like that? How's the quarantine changing all that?
Yeah, it's really been interesting. For some people, it's been really difficult, but for some, and we've heard a lot about that, but I've seen actually in my private clients, a lot of people who work in corporate jobs or day jobs who have been really struggling for years with the structure of their time and being unable to find time to take care of themselves in the ways that they want to. And they have actually found that they have a lot more flexibility. All of that commute time that they've gotten back, being able to take a break at lunchtime and just be in their house and walk their dog and, whatever it is, they've been able to find a lot more freedom there. And also people who struggle with body image they're just on a screen. They don't have to cram into, too tight pants and go to the office. They can be on the screen, and there's just less self-consciousness in that. So there have been some really interesting upsides that I wouldn't have expected. Mm-hmm.
And of course, you talk about the whole thing with diet, exercise, and everything else. You hear the phrase, no pain, no gain. You hear it all the time, but then your thoughts on no pain, no gain. Why is it sustainable or not sustainable from your view?
Yeah, so I actually write about that. I think that was in Physical Disobedience. I'm not sure which book it was in. But it was, I say no pain, no gain is not going to work. It's no action, no traction. If you want a phrase like that, that one works a lot better. So nothing's going to change if you don't do something. And that thing can be 10 push-ups once a day, every day, for the rest of your life. Imagine how much stronger you would be if you do that than if you don't. These things don't have to be big, but you have to take some sort of action. So you have to find what works for you and just start doing something, and then you can start to move forward. But I am not a fan of no pain, no gain, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And of course, many of us aren't either, too. And in terms of diet as well, too, I think that's a big concern. And what are some of your thoughts like to, keeping healthy, keeping on diet, and everything else? It's like, like with food, how do people adjust with that?
Yeah, so a lot of people are always trying, like we were talking before about manipulating your bodies, like food, it gets into deprivation. So people start saying, okay, I'm going to not eat chocolate or chips or whatever it is that they think that they need to stop doing. Instead, I try to have people pivot and focus on what they can eat more of it. So we're trying to feed our bodies more. So say your problem is chips at night in front of the TV. Mm-hmm. So if you have sort of tried to start, if you do that every night and you're full and you wake up in the morning and then you don't want breakfast and then you kind of like have a sort of a lunch that isn't, much, and then you starve yourself until dinner, and then you get to dinner, of course you're going to eat all the chips and all the cookies and all the things after dinner because you've starved yourself all day and your body is in fight or flight mode. So if you can start filling your day like, okay, I'm going to eat one more piece of fruit once a day, or 2 more vegetables, one at breakfast, one at lunch, or whatever, or have a snack, figure out some healthy snacks that you actually like, and make sure that you always, like I set an alarm on your phone, make sure you always eat it at 3 p.m, whatever it is that people decide to do, we're going to add things that are going to give them more nutrients, make them feel more full, and then over time, all of that good stuff starts to crowd out the bad, and you're just not as hungry, and even if you eat, 200 less calories in the evening, you're gonna lose weight over time.
Wow, that's very amazing too. And of course, where can people pick up the book, The Habit Trip, and how can they get started on the journey?
Yeah, so I'm online under my name, Sarah Hays Coomer, at all the socials. I'm very active on Instagram, but you can go to thehabittrip.com. That's my website. The book is there. All the information about workshops and events and private coaching, all of that stuff is there.
That is very amazing. And we'll talk about what's coming up next for Sarah Hays Coomer with The Habit Trip and more. Listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also, Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mosensia of the book Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author Sarah Hays Coomer and The Habit Trip after this timeout.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshazia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device, subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We are back with author Sarah Hays Coomer of The Habit Trip, a fill-in-the-blank journey to a life on purpose on the Mike Wagner Show. And, just a couple of things. We'd love to have you back on. You get some great tips. You're amazing. I'm going to start the book as well. And what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Sarah?
I'm doing a lot of these now. People are really in need of a lot of self-care right now. So I'm doing a lot of these workshops. I'm doing a lot of private coaching. And then I've got some, this book has inspired me to want to maybe write some children's books and some picture books, and also for teenagers. I feel like there's a real space for that in the market. So I'm going to be looking to do some of that.
You're talking about children's books, and you earlier talked about Dr. Seuss, and it kind of made me think there's a lot of people out there that love Dr. Seuss, or maybe just like maybe a cat in a hat get into a bad habit and how to get out of it. It's like bad cat, bad habit, cats or something.
Yeah, totally. No, there's kids are smarter than we think they are, and if we trust them to perceive what they need, they will tell us. So we need to empower them to do that.
Mm-hmm. And certainly will do so. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Sarah?
Oh boy, I don't know. That's tough. There's so many. I mean, Daniel Pink has been really huge for me. So I would say that some of his books, and you know what, Charles Duhigg has a great book too, The Power of Habit. That's really, really great if you're looking for more material.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also, what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
You can't get a body you love by doing things that you hate.
And that is so true. I mean, that is so well said. And once again, author Sarah Hays Coomer of The Habit Trip on the Mike Wagner Show. Sarah, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And before we go, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people purchase or check out your books?
Like I said, you can go to thehabittrip.com. All the information is there. You can link to me everywhere on the socials.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Sarah, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. And you've been absolutely fantastic, and we'll make sure we don't have any bad habits in the future.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a real joy.
Hey, everybody. My name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.